Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. This is the Ascension Football Show. I'm Joel Villafana. So, with football here, there, and everywhere, we don't know what's going on where the pandemic is concerned. One thing's for certain. We have two national teams that are in action, getting ready, training, where tournaments are concerned. That's the beach soccer team that we spoke about and had the coach and so on here. And today, we're going to focus on futsal, because our national futsal team also getting ready to fly out and represent this country. The president of the National Futsal Association, Mr. Geoffrey Edwards, is here. Here's what's coming up on the show.
I put it mildly, right? We like the scientific approach. Most of the indoor facilities in Trinidad and Tobago are not of the size or of the standard.
I'm an intelligent player and I know how to get in the right position to score goals.
That's right. Futsal on the front burner today. We have the president of the Futsal Association here with us. Let me just bring you up to speed on what's happening. Very quick. Our national futsal team loaded with a few national footballers, new look team. We're going to get into that. But this team is getting ready to leave the country for two friendlies against Costa Rica next week, the 26th and 27th. And then that's straight en route to Guatemala, where they will face off in a World Cup qualifying group, which involves the host nation Guatemala, Dominican Republic, and Trinidad and Tobago, looking for a top two spot to move on to the quarterfinals and then hopefully win that quarterfinal into the semifinals and book a spot in the World Cup, the Futsal World Cup. Yeah, that's the journey for our national futsal team. All the information is in the head of this brother, Geoffrey Edwards, who is here with us. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you very much. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you very much for pronouncing my name properly. A lot of people get it wrong, but your experience has...
Yeah, I pronounced quite a few names wrong in the past. So,
my mother will be happy.
Yeah. So I saw it and I said, yeah, this is not Geoffrey. No.
How dare you?
That's not a Geoffrey. Welcome, brother.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Good, man. Good. So new look team, I think is the thing that's grabbing the headlines now. I'm seeing the likes of Willis Plaza, Ball Pest Cummins, some skillful local players of national experience.
Also from Lockett Terminex as well.
Also from Lockett Terminex Rangers as well. Into a national futsal team. That just the look of the team alone got me excited.
Definitely. And one of the most important things, the coach would say this, and he has spoken to me about it, is that the pandemic really helped us. Some persons may say, oh, this man must be crazy. But given the fact that there is no football happening, it gives us the opportunity to have some of the best footballing talent in Trinidad and Tobago who can easily transcend or adapt to futsal to be able to be a part of it. And you just called some of those names, but you also have Sean De Silva, Keston George, Che Benny, Mark Ramlin, Secondary Schools Football League 2018 MVP, who have all been able to make that seamless transition through the watchful eyes or under the watchful eyes of head coach Constantine Constant, who is a former FIFA futsal instructor and also CONCACAF futsal instructor, to be able to understand what it is he wants.
How long has Coach Constant been working with this team?
This team has been in the last 3 months, 2 to 3 months. But honestly speaking, before the pandemic, he was actually last flight out to the United States last year, exactly a year ago. He has been in contact with the training pool of players, which was over 45 on a WhatsApp. And they had Zoom sessions, they had mental health sessions, sports psychologist sessions, technical and tactical sessions, theoretical, of course, videos and stuff like that. And he has maintained communication with them over that 1 year period. So if you want to put it from that standpoint of the pandemic, it was over 1 year, but in terms of on the ground technical sessions,
3 months. Yeah, fair enough. And he has, as I said, you said he's a FIFA.
Yeah, a former FIFA and CONCACAF futsal instructor.
So my question is, I've always said I know players would say a player is a player is a player, but there must be some sort of transition where I think, I mean, you've been around futsal for the last few years. A player to have to transition, they had to be a certain skill set from the big field to a futsal. The coach looks for something. You think, boy, would he tell you, hey, Paul Pest? I think Paul Pest could be a good futsal player.
Let's look at Paul Pest, a very good name. Paul Pest plays for Timna's Local Rangers as a holding midfielder. Right. Yes, sometimes he makes that transition. He's a box-to-box midfielder. In terms of futsal, his vision is extraordinary as well. Additionally, he has good change of pace, as well as he has a very low center of gravity, so he could be able to change direction quickly. In terms of what he does in terms of his wingers, people like Mark Ramdeen, again, low center of gravity, quick, can shoot with both feet. Che Benny, skillful. Che Benny is our typical Chimbigunian small goal champ who is skillful on the ball, but yet can be able, who has the fitness enough to be able to get back and defend. And that's one of the most important things, because now you're looking at goal-to-goal action. There's no such thing as you are forward and you could stay up in that zone, or you're midfield and you could stay in a particular zone. No, everybody has to work together. So fitness is very much important. Speed, vision, control of the ball, and being able to change direction very quickly. The only players you might find is a pivot, who is a big player like Blue Plaza, who will hold up the ball, so to speak, and roll it off to his players. But other than that, still, Plaza have to be able to get back on defensive duty when the time is, because it's 5v5, more so it's 4 outside players versus 4 outside players. So you have to ensure that you get your man. Pick up your man as quickly as possible. I remember when futsal came out and it was a big thing a few years ago.
I was saying that I think we should be able to put together a solid team if we can do, because we are small goal champions in Trinidad and Tobago. Most of us who played football would have come up playing some either football on the road, and that's what kind of futsal where everybody has to be involved offensively as well as defensively, as I said. So I was saying that I'm hoping in a few years' time that we will put together a team that can really show the world what we're capable of in this format.
And if you allow me the opportunity to, and that's where the Futsal Association of Trinidad and Tobago comes into play, through our strategic plan,
right?
Which is a 5-year.
You put on your presidential hat there from
which is a 5-year plan, and it has 5 pillars: coaching education, player development, brand development, female inclusivity, and the 5th one slipped now. But anyway, I'll find it. If it is we go through each one of them, we had to make sure that the bottom-up and top-down approach was working simultaneously to help develop the sport of futsal in Trinidad and Tobago. Coaching development, in 2018, we had the CONCACAF Futsal Coaching Education course, which was actually done by Constantine Constant, Coach Connie. In 2019, we had the FIFA Futsal Coaching Education course. In 2020, given the pandemic, we didn't make that as an excuse. We had an online coaching education course where we had 24 participants who graduated Saturday, who went through Introductory Cycle 1, Introductory Cycle 2, and Level 1, put on by an international organization called Futsal Solutions. And we had persons from Anguilla, Barbados, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago going through that. So in terms of coaching education, that pillar, we really and truly very important for us to be able to get that going. Player development. For us, player development, oh yes, the last one was grassroots development. So I'll go to grassroots development before I do player development. In terms of grassroots development, we have done something called Let's Play Futsal Caravan in secondary schools. We go to secondary schools during the lunchtime period, and we engage with the young persons to be able to teach them the very rudiments of the game of futsal and then have them engage. We have been through the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago, with noting that our target was 10 to 12 teams per semester, per term. In terms of Tobago, we are 2 schools shy. And if it wasn't for COVID-19, we have accomplished all of the secondary schools in Tobago. So that grassroots development is also going to extend to communities, where the Let's Play Futsal Caravan is going to have the community development component of it. Player development have us going to introduce the Futsal 868 Youth Academy, where we'll be having, in each of the indoor sporting arenas, futsal will be played from a recreational standpoint and an academic standpoint in terms of a bottom-up approach whereby you'll be feeding into the national programs in years to come for ages 6 to 16. That's player development. Female inclusivity. Our ambassadors for the Futsal 868 brand are our females who represented Trinidad and Tobago in 2018 in the Youth Olympics. These young ladies created history because it was the very first time that futsal was played at the Olympic movement. So it was the very first time that females from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean actually played futsal at the Olympic movement. These young ladies became our ambassadors. But even so, in terms of our General Secretary, she's a woman, Ms. Corinne Cecilia David. And it's not just about checking the box. She's very competent, being a graduate of the postgraduate diploma in sports management and having over 10, 15 years, I should say, in terms of sports management experience working with netball. But we want to be able to have more futsal involved, females involved in futsal. Players, coaches, referees are not under our purview, but nevertheless, we love to see referees, and additionally, administrators. Last but not least, brand development. We want everybody in Trinidad and Tobago to know this logo. It is who we are. As our tagline for this year is one nation, one people, one futsal 868. And what we have done so far is we have helped develop our social media content. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we even have our own YouTube channel whereby persons can be able to interact with the brand Futsal 868 and be a part of what it is. When COVID-19 hit, we were just about to be able to launch our youth academy, and with talks of even having a league. No on-field play. The team decided, let's put together a program on our YouTube that will be able to speak to our stakeholders. It was supposed to be futsal only. After the George Floyd matter, we decided to speak to other social issues for which sports is a reflection of society, which included racial inequality. And that spawned to other things such as mental health, emotional intelligence, safeguarding children in sport, and the list goes on. This Sunday, we are going to have our 49th episode. And it shows the testimony of the team in terms of resilience and being able to keep to our strategic plan and that pillar of brand and brand building.
Geoffrey, how long have you been president?
I've been president for 5 years, for 5 years, yes.
And that brilliantly outlined strategic plan that you just went on about. No, I'm very serious. I might be very serious. When was that put in place?
That was actually put in place 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And that came about while I was a student at the FIFA Master, which is the International Masters in Sports Management. And in Saboconi, Italy, that one of the sub-modules was actually sports strategic planning.
Yeah. I don't know if you're just a good talker, but I have never heard such a comprehensive plan in football.
Joel, I've been honest with you.
In all my years.
No, seriously, and I always tell people this, check us out on social media. The proof is in the pudding. You actually see the work that we have done. Again, Futsal 868 on all the platforms that we spoke about.
No, congratulations.
But when I got that strategic, I was taught that strategic plan, we immediately convened a meeting with the members of a virtual meeting, of course, because I was in Italy, with the members of the team, and we got down to writing our strategic plan.
So what I mentioned at the top in terms of when I saw when futsal came out, how many years futsal around now at least, and I say, the nature of our players, who we are as Trinbagonians, who we are as footballers in this part of the world, that game is suited to us.
Correct. Is it T20 of football?
Yeah. And what you just said, I'm saying, so 2 years ago, I'm saying, so if it is some of what you've said there is seriously implemented over the next, let's just say 5 years, then I think we could start qualifying for this World Cup on a regular basis and showing the world, because most of what you mentioned there, I would want to think that you would start bearing fruit.
Correct.
In what, 5 years? 3 to 5 years?
Because we have to go through this first cycle of the strategic plan and then make the transition to the next cycle to be able to see the fruits of the labor.
What has been initially, I mean, I know the pandemic would have interrupted quite a few in terms of execution. Yes. But what has been, especially in the schools, what has been the interaction like, the players wanting and interested? What has that been like?
Well, in
They hope that they could be able to show it,
Right.
not just me talk it, because we know that we're going to be able to see it.
We have video of
we have video of it. We have we have a lot of videos of it, because one of the things we do is not only do we do in terms of our marketing, in terms of our media team, but also in terms of data. Data collection is very important, and what we have found and what we have tried to establish is a large number of interaction, but also male to female. If we go into co-ed schools, we also like to have female interaction.
Right. So the interest. Some schools we go into, like we went to a school in San Grande, and when we went, the children was like, who is this man? Who is over there? I played FIFA. And that's real. I played FIFA.
Before we left, they was asking, when are you all coming back? It's something that Coach Connie said the first time we took Let's Play Futsal Caravan to Presentation College San Fernando, and they did King of the Court. From the time you interact with that ball, Joel, there's no going back. It's like, as I said before, your first sweat on the road. From the time you interact with that ball, you fall in love with it. And that is exactly what we have been seeing. And even when it comes to the national players who are on the team now, who never touch a futsal ball, you should hear what they speak about it. They now become our ambassadors, it's testimonial.
You mentioned the female impact and the work that you've been doing with regards to putting females in key positions, yes, and ensuring that. Is there a national female team in place now? Are you working towards getting one, if not?
We are working towards it. And we are working towards it not in terms of just having a national female team, but we're working towards it in terms of when I talk about the grassroots development pillar, so that when it is we speaking about the youth academies, it's not just about boys, but it's boys and girls. As ensuring that we have gender balance, gender equity when it comes to getting our children up. Because sport is a reflection of society, and football being one of the most popular sports in the Caribbean, we as national governing bodies, national sporting organizations, are responsible for ensuring that we can do our utmost best to help society. And gender inequality is a problem. So therefore, sport have to be able to take it on their chest, football terms, to be able to say, how can we make this better? How can we make it better for our young ladies, our mature ladies, all females? How can we make it better?
Yeah, excellent stuff. Let's just focus a bit now as we wrap up on our national team. This national team, said, coached by Constantine Constant, as Geoffrey said, he has been here over the last year, but working with the team over the last 2 to 3 months in terms of getting this team ready. Quite a few national members, national names that you would, I think Geoffrey mentioned a short while ago. Sean De Silva is a name he mentioned that popped up. He was a national youth player, national senior player, 2 World Cup. Yeah. So some popular names, so to speak, here in Trinidad and Tobago. And they are playing 2 friendlies on the 26th and 27th, back-to-back friendlies. Back-to-back friendlies against Costa Rica. And then going on to Guatemala for the World Cup qualifying tournament. We have never got past the group stages. We've never won a game, I think, based on what you've been telling me.
Let's see how the stats is. But from what I would not know, we have not won a game in terms of any actual tournament
World Cup qualifying tournament.
World Cup qualifiers. But we have to take the moment to be able to recognize the work done by Mr. Clayton Morris.
Right.
You know, and because at the end of the day, the fact is, we are not here by chance.
Right.
Yes. A lot of things have been done. There has been a lot of progress, but we have to take time to recognize Mr. Clayton Morris, the old technical staff, as well as the players who have been there before.
JB coached the team before.
Correct, Mr. Constantine Constant.
Took over from JB? Right, okay.
The only surviving player from the team would be Jamal Neptune in terms of from the last team. If it is I were to speak about the preparation for the campaign, it has been really a journey, I must say that. We want to say special thank you to Lucasade Sport, because they were our isotonic provider. 361 Degrees Sports Science, because they provided the sports science equipment and services in terms of data analysis, player analysis, to make sure that we get the best out of the players. I want to pay special mention to TTFA and the Normalization Committee, because we are actually training, or I should say the men's national futsal team is actually training in a modern facility with the surface as close as possible to what they're going to encounter in Guatemala and Costa Rica. That's very important to replicate it, because most of the indoor facilities in Trinidad and Tobago are not of the size or of the standard. So to be able to have the International School of Port of Spain, which we also have to say thank you to, is no feat. And we have to give mention. It's always important to say thank you to the persons who are being good to us. So Mr. Robert Haddad has been really and truly great to support in it. And I want to also say thank you for him and his team to be able to work with us, Futsal Association, taking our suggestions, our recommendations, and even all the offerings that we have been given to the men's national futsal team. The technical staff also brilliant in how they undertake their duties and responsibilities. And there has been a clear transference of information from Constantine Constant, or the assistant coach in terms of Paul Decker. One of the things that we did, Joel, is the goalkeeping and the goalkeepers. Futsal goalkeeping is different to football goalkeeping. It's a lot of shot blocking because the game is so fast. And the closest thing to it, from a sport transference information standpoint, is hockey. So what we got was an actual hockey goalkeeping coach to work with our assistant coach to assist them with shot blocking and techniques and tactics. Given that these guys are football goalkeepers now making a transition to futsal, we had to make sure that they were up to par. Additionally, we got England's men's national futsal goalkeeping coach, Andrew Reid, to work with Mr. Dunstan Williams, virtually of course, to provide them with information. And he also analyzed after games, after sessions, they were provided with tapes, he was provided with tapes, and he had analyzed and provided read the information to Mr. Williams to be able to give to the goalkeepers. So it was a very holistic approach in terms of this development. We also had sports psychology by Alexandra Alton, who came on a regular basis to be able to help the guys get their mental capacity up and going. So this process was well documented, well researched, and we're very happy to be able to reach this point.
So I'm not going to get you in too much in the technical and in terms of what you're expecting, what you're expecting from this team and so on and so on. But based on all the challenges that I think would have faced us and faced everyone over the last year preparing this team, I heard you mention all the innovations you would have done to ensure that the team was still in touch and that kind of thing, using the technology and so on. The team has been training for the last 3 months. They're off next week. As president, what would you be happy with in terms of returns when this team hits the field and represents this country on the court?
So allow me the opportunity to answer it in two ways. Futsal 866 Corner Talks actually has a series, Futsal and CONCACAF. And for the last 3 weeks, we actually spoke to stakeholders, global stakeholders who knows about CONCACAF. And we did one of the part of the segment was predicting the outcomes of each of the groups. Interestingly enough is that Guatemala, being the host, went down to Brazil on a camp, and they play one of the best clubs in the world, Magnus. Dominican Republic actually has a futsal league, and they have 5 players who are playing in the second division of the Spanish futsal league there. Answering all that is, for me, I think Trinidad and Tobago has one of the best chances ever to qualify for a futsal World Cup that we have had before. This
time around.
Technically and tactically, I think that they, through Constantine Constant and what I just mentioned in terms of the goalkeeping assistants, I think that they're ready. The pandemic is the equalizer as well, because everybody was up to a certain standard, and then the pandemic happened. So we do not know what's going to occur. The venues will not have any crowds. Playing in Guatemala in the dome is deafening, but now the home court advantage may be taken away from them because there's nobody in the stands. I'm really hoping that we can qualify. 3 games away from the World Cup, absurd, but very possible. And our tagline, or one of our mottos internally is, damn if you do, damn if you don't, just do. I want that team to just do. Just go out there and qualify, and I think that we can. If we do it, it will be amazing, because it can be able to help boost up the sport of futsal in Trinidad and Tobago. And also, more so, in terms of the face of TTFA and football in Trinidad and Tobago, because we are not competing against anybody. We are here to work as a team. So that's what I really hope for. If we do not, God forbid, futsal will still continue to grow in this country, and these young men will be new ambassadors, and we'll look towards the next cycle to see, as you rightfully say, the fruits of the labor of our strategic plan continues.
Geoffrey Edwards, it's been a real pleasure talking to you today, and I'm really wishing this national team all the best. Hoping that we can, I let it take it in steps and stages, small steps. Let's win a game. Well, what do you say to that, right?
I agree.
Yeah, let's win a game. And as you said, 3 games. We are grouped with Guatemala, the Dominican Republic, and trying to be going in that group.
Before you go, as they said, mention a game. When the girls went to Argentina, they trained for 1 month. 1 month. And literally they lost to Thailand in the first game 11-1. Right. Shell shocked. They came back in the second game and they beat Bolivia 5-3. They won a game in the World Cup. In the Olympics. And you see what he just said, that reminds me of that. And those girls, that is a life-changing experience for them. Yeah. And I think that the guys can have the same life-changing experience.
Sports is about momentum, as you know.
All momentum.
Let's win a game, get out of the group, top 2 teams, which hopefully we can do. Get out of the group, go into the quarterfinals, and when in a quarterfinal, anything can happen, and then book a spot in that semifinals. If we win the tournament, I don't know what Geoffrey will do, but
take off something.
Let's take it one step at a time. Wishing this team all the best. And guys, go and check out 868 Futsal. That's YouTube.
Futsal 868.
Futsal 868. That's
YouTube,
YouTube page.
Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
They have an interesting show. I took a look at it. I must admit, I took a look at it. A very interesting show going on that YouTube channel. Going on 49 episodes, is it?
This Sunday, 49 episodes. Sundays at 4 p.m.
Yeah, the futsal movement growing here in TNT, and I think this gentleman, Mr. Geoffrey Edwards, mainly responsible, or one of the gentlemen responsible.
It's a team.
Yeah, it's a team. And I was hearing that coming as I said it. Congratulations, my brother. Congratulations. And wishing the team all the best. They're off next week. Wishing them safe travel, be safe, and come on back with some victories and hopefully a place in the Futsal World Cup. We're taking a break. We're coming back.
The situation we have here is that these characters, and I refer to them as pests, right? What they are doing is destroying our country, but not on my watch. No street, no turf, no block shall belong to these cockroaches, right? It's no longer business as usual. Happy hour is over. If they don't fear God, at least they will fear Terminix.
Have you considered how your methods could impact on pests across the country?
I find we look after the rights of pests as opposed to the rights of the 1.3 million law-abiding citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. I wonder if Roach Ladden's son come here for the carnival, if you'll interview him, eh?
But how could you defend one shot, one kill?
What? You want me to throw a pillow at him?
I didn't say that.
No, well, if a roach jumps in front of you now, what will you do?
Run.
Oh, Jesus, Lord Father.
Pests bothering you? Call Terminix at 672-5007 or 672-0042 or visit our website at terminix.co.tt for a free quote and consultation. Join our fight against pests.
Get in the game with Ascension. Quality for champions. Hey, Ascension! Ascension! Premium quality and style make you stand out all the time. Ascension is quality for champions. Ascension fit is always right. Take your game to higher heights. Ascension got the quality for champions. So everybody say, hey, oh, we wearing Ascension when we play. To run out on the field in style. What's the brand that we want? Ascension, Ascension, Ascension. We wearing what we wearing is Ascension. Quality for a champion. Ascension. We wearing what we wearing is Ascension. Quality for a champion. Ascension. We wearing what we wearing is Ascension. Get in the game with Ascension. Quality for champions.
is located at Magnificent Mall, number 271 Southern Main Road, McBean, Couva. Amanzi Del Cafe. Happiness begins with brew. Lasso Freight Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. At our facilities, security checks ensures that all vehicles are secured. Our newly renovated bathrooms are always kept in a clean working order. Need repairs and maintenance? We have you covered. Our qualified workmen will get the job done. Boat storages. From our marina, you can easily push off for a family sailing trip. Or out fishing with the boys. A fun DDI experience with friends. Boat repairs, secured parking, extensive camera system, boat charters, boat rentals, down the island parties. Contact us at 1-868-634-1653. Lasso Freight Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. Life's better on a boat.
All right, we're back as we bide our time and getting ready, hopefully sometime in the future for football to restart. As we all dealing with the pandemic, we are focusing on some of the clubs that will be participating in the Ascension, but some of the local clubs that would have made up, the core of football here in Trinidad and Tobago. One of those clubs, really a new kid on the block when it comes to professional football and pro league football. They're out of the central zone. We're talking about Cunupia FC, and I'm so happy to have the director, head coach. He wears a couple hats. His name is Michael Defour, and he's here with us. Michael, welcome.
Thank you.
And very, very happy to have you. First of all, as I said, Cunupia FC, new kid on the Pro League block, but I mean, when you look back a little bit for me, they've walked through the ranks, so to speak, and made their way to the top of professional football. Take me back a little bit in terms of where Cunupia FC would have originated.
Well, like the name says in Cunupia, and that was in 2012. And
club was born in 2012?
Yeah. And from there, we were kind of fortunate. We won some stuff as we come out. We didn't have a bomb squad or a lot of veterans or anything like that. We just, got lucky.
Was it community?
It was people? Community. It was
community based.
Yeah.
Players from the community.
Everybody from the community. Some in school, some in UE, some was doing the medical doctor.
Yeah, some talent in Cunupia.
Some education and educated guys, and then normal talent little men now join fire services and.
But footballers, ballers, yeah.
No, some men really do just like football and want to come on that side.
Right.
We welcome them. Anybody who want to play for us, we welcome you. And then if you make the cut, you make the cut. We didn't say like, well, this is a big, you're not a big player or anything. So in the first year, we get some licks, new team and thing. And then in the second year, we come like second in 3 or 4 things. And then in the third year, we win 1 or 2 and we come. And by the time year 5, we had won everything that there was to win in the zone. We had come second twice in the league, which was then from the league, you went to champion of champions to to enter the Super League. So in that 5 years, we really run it up. And we won the league. The club won Best Community Club. I was nominated for Coach of the Year when they had these awards, sports awards. And we qualified for the Champion of Champions after winning the league. We played in the Champion of Champions, and then we ended up in the Super League. Then the Super League was run by, I think NGC had sponsored the league. They had 2 divisions, a championship and a premier. First year we came third in the championship. And in the second year we won the championship. So.
And then out of the Super League.
That was the championship. We went premier then. Yeah. Premier was with the Army and
all the big guns in the
so-called big guns
yeah.
And we came third in the first year in the premier. And then we won the League Cup, which has only been won by about 6 clubs in the history of the Pro League, in the history of the Super League. I think the National under 19, and we won it a couple of times, Wassa, and so on. And then we entered the Pro League. We had played the Ascension and entered the Pro League circuit. The Ascension we did. That was the first year Ascension kept. We did pretty well. I think we came 4th. We lost the final game against Police to get the 3rd place, and so Jablote placed 3rd. Yeah, that game played in Diego Martin. And in the first year in the Pro League, which would have been, I would say 1920, that was the abbreviated season.
Before the pandemic? Before the pandemic?
Yeah, well, the pandemic hit us in the season, just before it ended.
Right.
We were the first team in the first year to reach the semi-finals of the FCB Cup. So it was like a wonderful story. And then, the Pro League, and then the Pro League itself started, and we drew probably 7 or 8 games. And we didn't get to come in the top 5.
What do you attest based on that? I mean, that's a real quick climb, quick ascension, so to speak. What do you attest to that success of a little club team that you just gather players together in Cunupia? Yeah. Well, what do you attest?
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. What was responsible for that quick climb, boy?
Well, luck.
You serious?
Yeah, you have to have a little luck. You can't just.
Nothing to your great coaching skills?
I have a little thing because I went to Brazil and spent 2 months in Brazil.
Right.
And so on with.
But seriously, you're putting it down to luck and seriously? I mean,
well, a little luck, and we have we good administratively, and we kind of try to be at the top of what we do in terms of coaching education. Yeah. So we kind of are putting it mildly, right? We like the scientific approach. Yeah. So in this final year here, we had this year that just went by, we bought some GPS equipment. I think based on stats, we're the only club in the Caribbean to have that type of equipment. And we have a sports scientist on our staff.
You took some, despite it's just a little club from Cunupia, you took some
serious steps. We made a little investment.
Yeah, you took some serious steps behind the scenes in terms of the coaching.
When you run, we could know how fast you run.
Yeah.
And, how much jumps you make, and what's your top speed. And we could measure your endurance based on all the different parameters and say, you can make. We know how much distance you cover in a game and all them kind of things.
Talking about some of the players that you're happy to see grow from that little club in Cunupia now to, as I said, on the national stage. Some of the players
we don't have anybody on the national stage.
No. I'm talking about in your club that would have grown the club to reach professional ranks in terms of,
or players that pass through the club.
Yeah, probably currently playing.
Stefan Stout. He was our WhatsApp player, I think. Yeah, he Gordon Hiley passed through the club. Yeah, he passed through.
One of the greatest youths I've seen.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. We could talk about him for
one of the greatest youths I've seen, man. Yeah.
National players. I mean, local players, because we had some players from Grenada and all kind of thing that come and take it. this guy who, Kerry Daniel, I think is his name. Yeah. Woods was a keeper with Wassa and Joe Public. He was there with us. A lot of guys, yes.
What was the reason?
And Kevin Woodley, of course.
Kevin Woodley. What was the reason behind forming the club back in 2012? Was there a need in the community to pull the youths together? Was just football? You were seeing football. What was the real reason why the club was formed back in 2012?
The club was formed because, well, you know, football, cricket is one group of people, and football is another kind of group of people in Central Zone. You know, Central is cricket alone, and there are a group of people from Central who say, but we like football. So come on, let me just play a little football. It wasn't like, hey, we're going to be this big side or nothing. So we was playing football, and then after the fourth year, when we realized we beating people, we started a dream. So we were at, as they say in the football fraternity, at the bottom of the pyramid. And we say, but wait now, like we could move on the pyramid a little bit. And well, in terms of Trinidad, right now we kind of bordering
at the top.
The top, yeah.
so you can't dream, man. You can't dream if you're...
Well, that was what football was all about. You know, that some people just come in and say, hey, we could just take a little sweat and wherever. And that is what it was. It had like one or two fellas who little you and that little scale and come and thing and play. Fellas who doing, as I say, they're doing the dentistry, who's dentist now and thing. And they're no big footballers, they never play for the school or nothing. And they want to play for the side and they play for the side. And when we start to win games, they start to believe in themselves. And we start to believe we could go further. And I want to say here we are. Now trying to, you know.
Michael has an amazing story though. I mean, as I said, that's literally grassroots football.
Yeah,
that climbed the ladder in what? You would say what, 4 years?
5
years? 5 years. Yeah.
5 years.
I mean, no, as I said, unfortunately the pandemic has kind of struck and grounded everything to a halt. But ambition to the club now, because I know the Ascension League was the next league that we would have been looking forward to play. You're looking forward to playing in. Mm-hmm. What is your ambition of this club now, Kunupe FC?
Well, we really
take over the world, huh?
Yeah, no, we have, because we have established ties with the sports science group of people in UE has I think Mona campus, the Sports Science Society. We have an MOU with them. We have an MOU with Cruzeiro, and I'm looking for something else. I can't. I haven't put a hand on it yet, but I'm looking for something else to help us. But we want to really win CONCACAF. It may not happen 2 years from now, but maybe 6 years from now, we could win CONCACAF. I mean, and I'm very confident in that.
The dream continues.
Yes, and the dream has even been supported by education, of course. Because this year, the football was supposed to play, we wanted to do video analysis of our games and so on, and our training and so on. Of course, you have to spend another $5 to do that. It might have meant sacrificing the bigger players, some of the bigger players, and pulling all the big names, but it will give us a better perspective on how to approach games and how to set up our training and so on. So that the next year, with proper funding and so on, we'll be able to get into, let me say, the right way.
I want to say congratulations, because I mean, I said, knowing the story and where the team has come from, and sometimes you see these teams, you see them playing little clips on the news every night and so on, not knowing sometimes the history of what has happened in terms of the grassroots of some of our teams. Kunupe FC, as I said, one of the new kids on the block, literally just 12 and 21 is how much? My maths, I know. 9 years. Yeah. Amazing achievements in that period of time. I want to congratulate you, Mr. Michael Lifu, dropping by. He's of Kunupe FC, director, coach, What else is with this club? Is the
Yeah,
bar.
we're just trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep it together because, you know, with the administratively, the football is not at the best. It's lacking in Trinidad and Tobago. You don't want to be too negative about it, but it can do it something a little better. And I more want to say from an organizational standpoint, you know, and not like who in charge and so on, but from more how the football is organized to facilitate the dreams of the footballers itself and where they want to go. Because really, let's just say a primary school student, a young lad, as some people let's put it, a young lad should believe or should want to believe to play for a local professional club. First, hey, I want to play for Club X. I don't call no name because I want to make them feel, you know, I want to play for Club X in the Pro League. And then from there I could move on to...
He must see a pathway.
You must see a pathway.
Yeah,
and I don't feel...
That exists now.
From an organizational standpoint. I understand they have the administrative hurdles, but I would like to see something being done more from that standpoint. And that would really boost that whole fans coming back in and all of that, and the whole football confidence and so on.
No. Pleasure talking to you, Mr. Defoe. Pleasure talking to you this morning. Kunupe FC, Michael Defoe spending some time with us this morning. Really hoping that football gets back sooner rather than later. We keep our fingers crossed here that we'll get our numbers down and we can probably see some football happening where we can see Kunupe FC taking the field and upsetting some of the big guns in the country.
Okay.
We're taking a break, guys. When we come back, much more here on the Ascension Football Show.
Pest control is a pain, but you don't have to go it alone. If you're a business that needs someone who will fix your problems point blank, go with the brand that's tested. Go with Terminix. Born almost a century ago in Memphis, Tennessee, Terminix International's mission has been to spread its innovations across the world through its integrated pest and termite management system, reducing the infestation of pests and vermin. Our Trinidad franchise neutralizes the threat of tropical insects and ensures that companies, from food production to hospitality, protect their investment and get the maximum value from our relationship. And we've been doing it well for over 20 years. Termites and pests are relentless, but they're no match for Terminix. Contact us today for a free consultation and quote, and let's introduce you to convenience. Protect your premises today. Choose a service provider that persists. Talk to Terminix.
Pests bothering you? Call Terminix at 672-5007 or 672-0042 or visit our website at terminix.co.tt for a free quote and consultation. Join our fight against pests.
Get in the game with Ascension. Quality for champions.
Hey, Ascension! Ascension! Premium quality and style make you stand out all the time. Ascension is quality for champions. Ascension fit is always right. Take your game to higher heights. Ascension got the quality for champions. Now everybody say, hey, oh, we wearing Ascension when we play. To run out on the field in style. What's the brand that we want? Ascension! 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 We wearing what we wearing is Ascension. Quality for a champion. Ascension. We wearing what we wearing is Ascension.
Get in the game with Ascension. Quality for champions. Lasso Frame Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. At our facilities, security checks ensures that all vehicles are secured. Our newly renovated bathrooms are always kept in a clean working order. Need repairs and maintenance? We have you covered. Our qualified workmen will get the job done. Boat storages,
From our marina, you can easily push off for a family sailing trip. Or out fishing with the boys. Or a fun DDI experience with friends. Boat repairs, secured parking, extensive camera system, boat charters, boat rentals, down the island parties. Contact us at 1-868-634-1653. Lasso Frame Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. Life's better on a boat.
Amante Del Cafe is located at Magnificent Mall, number 271 Southern Main Road, McBean, Couva. Amante Del Cafe. Happiness begins with brew.
Not quite, but I was about 5 or 6 years scoring goals, scoring lots of goals, like scoring 2-3 goals every game, and just making my team win. I remember boys RSD. That's where I went to school when I went primary school, and then from there I played with FC Santa Rosa for like a year or two, and then St. Augustine. And from there, Naprima, and then national team, and now Lockett Rangers. It's playing with Lockett Rangers, Dominic Rangers, and because I develop a lot since I'm here, and it made me into a better player, in scoring goals and keeping fit and staying healthy. I play forward, and I consider my strength as speed and the ability to run off the ball and get into spaces and scoring goals. I will say Angus Eve. He really encouraged me to score a lot of goals and just play for myself, and build a lot of confidence in me. First time I got called up I was in college, and then they saw me out there, and that's when I get called up for the under-20 national team. And from there I traveled to Colombia with the team and played a couple games there. Then we played in the under-20 tournament in Florida, which I had the most goals for Trinidad, which is 4. And from there I got a call up from the under-20 tournament. I got a call up to the senior team, and I had my first debut with the senior team against Iran. And from there, I got the opportunity to get another call up to play against St. Vincent, and I started that game. had a quite well performance. So it meant a lot because I have a lot of youths that look up to me, and I feel that I made my hometown proud, knowing that I made it to that level, and yeah, just had a great opportunity to be a part of the team. My goals and ambitions right now is to keep doing what I'm doing and improve myself, and hopefully get a professional contract someday. I'm an intelligent player, and I know how to get in the right position to score goals. I'm passionate and I'm very hardworking. I'm Isaiah Ali, and I'm proud to represent Terminix Calcutta Rangers.
It's time now to swing across to Ansel Elcock for another Coach's Corner.
Thanks, Joel. Today we're doing anticipating defending. It's about timing. It's about knowing when to do it and when not to do it. Because if an attacker see you doing it all the time, he would actually turn you very easy. So as a defender, if you, as I say in one of the first episodes, just as the defensive heading, you want to make sure not that you're 99% sure you can win the ball, but 100% sure that you can win the ball. So that goes for all part of defending. Today we have Isaiah Lee and Johannes Richardson to demonstrate anticipating. The purpose in proper good closing down, you don't want to take your time and jog and go, because time you take and jog and go, he can actually turn and face you. You don't want, especially the attacker, to be facing you on top the 18 and the distance, because he can pick point A to point B. Time the ball traveling, you get to him as fast as possible and slow him. Feel him so that he can raise his head. Yeah? Good. Not too much over. Just make sure you go so you can touch him. Go. Good. When you think you do it a little longer, right? You jockey him for a little longer. Right? Yeah, and jockey him, right? Good, yeah. That was anticipating defending. Back to you, Joel.
All right, that's going to do it for another Ascension of Football show. Guys, join us every week here as we focus on football right here on the Ascension Football Show.